Now on the podcast side, I've somehow, from the first session that I had with Chris, he brought in Phil, who's Chris's mentor, and I was just, my natural default mode is to have a whine and try and manage expectations, so underplay everything I do. So I said, I'm struggling getting guests to actually come onto my podcast because I have zero credibility, no personal brand, that sort of thing. Phil said, okay, I'm going to set you a challenge. You're going to have 5 podcast interviews by the end of the month. I'm like thinking, crap, that's 2 weeks. So 2 weeks to try and find some people to actually interview and 5 people before the end of the month. So I thought, all right, well, I'm going to give it my best shot and see what happens. And yeah, I managed to start out reaching out to people, like not top profile, but I thought realistically, I've got people who know what they're talking about, who would be interesting to listen to. So I first started with my friends, and then Chris was very kind to say, host on the podcast group. So I got Osman, who was one of the expert speakers and also one of the mentors on this in this cohort. He came on. So I interviewed 3 friends, got Osman, and then through Matchmaker I got actually I'd say he's the owner of a chocolate company, so a modern day, and he used to come from finance, so a modern day ex-accountant, moved into sales and marketing, became VP, joined a startup which then he scaled up and then exited and started his own chocolate company, which is organic chocolate, etc. And so he became a modern day Willy Wonka. And I found him super interesting. And that was my 5th podcast interview, which I did this Thursday. So yeah, that's the story in a nutshell.
That was a long story, but I just love it because you've completely shifted your confidence already. Don't you think, Chris and Lisa? Lots of self-doubt to already into action and you've already completed 1 challenge, and you're going to appear on one of Phil's podcasts. So is that all booked?
Not yet. I'm going to fill out the forms today.
Chris, you've got some great news too. Tell me.
Yeah, I think my main progress, like from the previous week, was just really like moving things in terms of like getting guests on the podcast, similar to Dante. So what I did was create my account on Matchmaker, and a bunch of people asked to connect. And interestingly, although some of them were obviously, like templates, and some people would reach out and say like, hey, I follow your podcast. I'm like, no, you didn't. I only like 1 episode. So I knew it was templated. But, I did give people a chance, and, I saw what they were all about. And I really created a personalized response to their reach out. And I managed to get upwards to like 5 or probably 6 or 7 from Matchmaker, and they were really great leads. Like, it was so surprising to me how it was almost like it felt like it was too easy to get these people on the podcast, and they really are credentialed, and they have written authored books, and they have these programs and seminars, and they've done stuff. And it really is true that some experts would love to guest on a podcast because it really helps them put themselves out there, from borrowed audiences. And I just really was amazed at how easy that part was.
So great job on all your progress. That's awesome. I love seeing it. It's very motivating. And great job getting your challenge done, Dante, and getting all the social media stuff out there. It's fantastic. So I have been right now working at trying to find work on someone to do a new logo, because so my business started in like 2000. I had a really old logo for a very long time, and then when I closed the brick and mortar, I just like whipped up something. So that's not really a logo, but I currently have down there, the pink in Alan's place. It's a whipped up one. So I need to find and get a new logo. plus that cover art for the podcast, right? Then I can change all my social media covers and, be working at that. And then just when I send out my emails, just to make that all smooth. But of course I asked in a local group here, like, what's the average price for a logo? Oh my gosh, the responses I got. Well, are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? Are they going to include this? Okay, bombarded with so anyways, and then Chris and I were talking a little bit about that too. So I'll sort that out. I still need to do and I'm sorry, I'm not good with the steps properly, but actually get it listed on Google.
Yeah,
right?
well, the only one you have to manually
For
do is for Apple Podcasts.
For
Yeah.
Apple,
And
but I
then,
need the trailer and the 2 done before I do
yeah,
that, or at least the trailer
need
and
it.
description
You need at
and the
least
artwork.
one episode live
One
to
episode. Okay.
submit to
Okay.
Apple Podcasts. So that's why I just recommend like a trailer. But for the pre-launch, which would be anywhere
November
now
18th.
before the 18th of November,
Yep.
is have a trailer and 2 pre-episodes up so people can get a teaser of what to expect in January.
Okay. And we can have a call outside of this just to
Of course.
to be sure I'm on track for those first 2.
Of course.
And then for myself, what's going well is I just continue to keep doing like in-person networking. So meeting a lot of like potential guests, people that already have podcasts, people that are active on social media that will be willing to share stuff out for us all. So just, yeah, continuing with that. So that's all good.